When WWE superstars step outside the scripted ring and cross into real combat, everyone expects the pumped-up performers getting exposed by someone who actually knows how to fight. But every once in a while, reality goes off script.
Past the midway point of round 2. Lesnar is trying to... The strongest men in the mix. It's all over! It is all over!
Punches are coming in from both sides.
He's going to stop the fight if this keeps up.
This might not last much longer.
Maybe 2 or 3 more punches.
From a future Marvel star finishing veterans to a 45-year-old legend submitting a 350-pound giant in under a minute. These are the WWE superstars who didn't just survive in real combat, they absolutely destroyed legitimate MMA fighters. Let's start with a man you probably know better as Drax the Destroyer. Dave Bautista spent years dominating Monday Night Raw before Hollywood came calling, but before he became a Marvel superstar, the animal wanted to test himself in real combat. On October 6, 2012, at CES MMA, Real Pain in Providence, Rhode Island, the 43-year-old Bautista stepped into the cage for his professional MMA debut against Vince Lucero. Now, Lucero wasn't some random can. The man had 44 professional fights under his belt and had shared the cage with names like Tim Sylvia and Roy Nelson. At 300 pounds, he wasn't intimidated by anybody, and early on, Lucero cracked Bautista with hard rights, pushed him against the cage, and even threw peace signs to the crowd while clinching with the WWE star.
Versus on the clinch and pinned Bautista to the cage.
And Lucero just flipped it around nicely and pressed him
and
right
Vince
back.
is waving to the crowd as this is happening.
He's loving it. I mean, this is the show of a lifetime, and Lucero is soaking it up.
But Bautista didn't panic. He weathered the storm, found his opening, and took Lucero to the mat.
He stands.
Interestingly enough,
He shoots right in. And he gets it.
big takedown by Dave Bautista. We were waiting to see if he had that in his arsenal.
Well, we expected it as well. Now he's stepping over, bringing his right knee to try to pin down Vince's arm. And this is where Vince could be in a lot of trouble.
Once the fight hit the ground, Bautista's superior athleticism took over. He mounted Lucero, unloaded ground and pound, and forced the referee to step in.
40 professional fights at heavyweight. He's been here before. And now Dave Bautista has mount. He looks like he's going to get the back. This is a very big guy. He might not try the back mount.
It's tough
It
to
could
wrap
be too
your
much
arms
on the
around
girth.
it. Yeah.
Dave might think about staying in side control here. There's a lot of girth he's giving up.
Big right
Good
hand.
right hands, good punches. Good. He's doing a really good job. He has him on mount, but from the side. So maybe where the girth doesn't come into as much. You can see where the knees aren't on the ground.
Landing some left hands now.
Dan Magliata really right up in this to see what's going
He's
on.
got that left arm under.
He has it under his neck. It looks like he's going to try to go for a rear naked, but no, he lost that. Now he's throwing punches. A couple of those to the back of the
has
head.
to answer. These punches are coming in from both sides.
He's going to stop the fight if this keeps up.
This might not last much
Maybe
longer.
2 or 3 more punches. That'll
That's
be
it. And Dave, the Animal Bautista wins.
TKO victory in just 4 minutes and 5 seconds of the first round. The 43-year-old rookie had silenced the doubters and proved the animal wasn't just a nickname. Bautista retired undefeated at 1-0 to pursue acting. Smart move. He got in, made his point, and got out before anyone could make one back. But if Bautista's one-fight legacy was impressive, another WWE star built something even more remarkable. Many people know him as Jack Swagger, the All-American American, the guy who did the We the People chant and held the World Heavyweight Championship. What you might not know is that Jake Hager was a legitimate Division III All-American wrestler at the University of Oklahoma who set the school record for most pins in a season. When Hager left WWE in 2017, he didn't just dabble in MMA, he committed to it completely. On January 26, 2019, at Bellator 214, Hager made his professional debut against J.W. Kaiser in front of a massive crowd in Inglewood, California. Kaiser came out swinging from the opening bell, and earlier in the first round, he actually caught Hager clean with a right. That was the last good moment he'd have all night. Hager immediately fell back on his wrestling pedigree, closing the distance and working for the takedown. Once he got Kaiser to the mat, the former WWE champion went to work.
получается тейкдаун.
Да, причем так аккуратно левой рукой за щиколотку практически соперника прихватил Хейгер и в итоге оказался в атакующей позиции в борьбе.
From half guard, Hager unleashed brutal elbows that opened up the submission. He transitioned to an arm triangle choke so tight that Kaiser had no choice but to tap.
Правой рукой сопернику пытается Кайзер нанести максимальный ущерб, подключает в это время локоть. Джейк Хейгер.
Немного действует Джейк Хейгер. Сейчас размашистый удар справа, подключает локоть. Есть ставка на рассечение у Хейгера.
Да, причем учитывая преимущество для того, чтобы уверенно себя чувствовать и действовать.
И еще один размашистый удар справа.
Тяжело приходится Кайзеру. К удушающему приему переходит сейчас Джейк Хейгер.
Да, через руку. Работает в стиле Джоша Барнетта. Сейчас Хейгер издается. Все кончено в этом поединке.
Just 2 minutes and 9 seconds into the fight, the WWE star had submitted a real MMA fighter in his debut. And he was just getting started. Hager went on to compile a 3-0-1 record in Bellator, remaining undefeated with wins by knockout and submission. The man who once did the "We the People" chant was now submitting real MMA fighters tapped to legitimate chokes. Ken Shamrock isn't just a WWE legend, he helped build both professional wrestling and MMA. The first ever UFC Superfight champion, and the man many literally called the world's most dangerous man. But by 2009, Shamrock was 45 years old and he'd lost 5 straight fights. Most believed his best fighting days were already behind him. Then the promoters decided to feed him to a literal giant. On February 13, 2009, at the Valentine's Eve Massacre in Fresno, California, Ken Shamrock faced Ross the Grizzly Clifton, and Clifton was every bit the monster his nickname suggested. Standing at 6'6" and weighing 350 pounds. The man looked like he ate other fighters for breakfast, but Shamrock wasn't just any other fighter. From the opening bell, the world's most dangerous man showed exactly why he earned that title. He cracked Clifton with an overhand right that sent the giant stumbling.
Not as pretty, though.
Yeah. Hogan was a little better shape. Here we go. Round one underway.
Trying to set precedence right away that he's the man. Just gotta be careful. Ken Shamrock with the big right hand. Oh my goodness.
Before Clifton could recover, Shamrock pounced on him, took side control and cranked in an armbar that gave the 350-pound man absolutely no choice but to tap out.
Just stay in top position and let the ground and pound do the work.
Yeah, a mount might not be a good
There it is,
idea.
armbar, tap. Nice.
There it is.
The 45-year-old legend needed only 60 seconds to submit a man who outweighed him by over 100 pounds, proving that real fighting skills don't have an expiration date. But if Shamrock defeated a giant, the next WWE superstar was actually a giant killer himself. Before Shinsuke Nakamura became the king of strong style in WWE, before that iconic entrance music had crowds losing their minds, he was a 23-year-old prospect testing himself in real combat. And in true Japanese MMA fashion, they matched him against someone who looked like he belonged in a monster movie. On May 2, 2003, at NJPW Ultimate Crush in the Tokyo Dome, Nakamura faced John the Giant Nortje. Nortje stood 6'11" and cast a shadow that blocked out the arena lights. The South African had a background in boxing and kickboxing, but more importantly, he was absolutely enormous. This was the ultimate test for Nakamura, and he didn't care about the size difference. He shot in with a double-leg takedown that planted the giant on his back. The first round was all Nakamura, using his wrestling to control position and drop punches on Nortje's massive head. In the second round, Nakamura went back to work, launching another takedown as he destroyed Nortje from above, leaving him no choice but to tap. The Giant tapped at 3 minutes and 12 seconds of round 2. Shinsuke Nakamura, the man who would later become one of WWE's most electrifying performers, had just submitted a 6'11" kickboxer using nothing but wrestling and pure determination. Nakamura finished his MMA career 3-1-1, with all 3 wins coming by submission. In 2005, the UFC even offered him a contract, but Nakamura chose pro wrestling instead. This victory helped Nakamura become the youngest IWGP heavyweight champion in history just 7 months later, and the King of Strong Style was born. Now let's talk about a WWE star who didn't just come to test his strength in MMA, he dominated it. Bobby Lashley isn't just any WWE superstar, he's the real deal. At 6 feet 3 inches and 245 pounds of sculpted muscle, he looked like someone designed him in a video game character creator and maxed out every stat. But unlike most WWE muscle men, this one came with real credentials. He was a 3-time National Amateur Wrestling Champion and a 2-time Armed Forces Wrestling Champion. The man could actually fight. When Lashley decided to transition to MMA, the combat sports world paid attention. On May 15, 2009 at MFC 21 in Edmonton, Lashley faced Mike Cook for the Maximum Fighting Championship. Now, Cook made one crucial mistake before the fight even started. He made his ring entrance wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. Apparently, Cook thought it would be funny to mock the professional wrestler, but Bobby Lashley did not share his sense of humor.
Any questions from you, Mike? Any questions from you, Bobby? You want to touch gloves? Touch them now? Let's get it on.
No touching gloves.
Immediately, the fight began. Lashley closed the distance, locked in a front headlock, and flattened Cook on his stomach.
You ready?
We have the best in the business. Big John McCarthy gets us going. Bobby Lashley and
Mike Cook in this heavyweight
battle. And right away,
He's going for a guillotine.
Lashley going for a guillotine.
You let it go. Oh,
Look at that. Look at this. Bobby Lashley coming out. That's it.
24 seconds was all it took for Lashley to put Cook to sleep. The WWE star had destroyed his opponent in the blink of an eye, and he was just getting started. Just 6 weeks later, on June 27, 2009, at Ultimate Chaos in Biloxi, Mississippi, Bobby Lashley faced a true combat sports celebrity, Bob Sapp. Sapp was 322 pounds of former NFL muscle who'd knocked out legends and terrified audiences across Japan. This was exactly the kind of opponent who could expose a WWE crossover as a fraud. Instead, Lashley treated him like a punching bag. Despite giving up 67 pounds to the massive Sapp, Lashley's wrestling was immediately dominant. He controlled the bigger man on the ground like he was drilling with a beginner.
He's hit the half guard, he's rolling that hip, trying to get out there as best he can. Seth, might we see a half guard sweep, or maybe a something like tuck to a knee bar?
Probably not. But if he keeps...
Lashley rained down devastating ground and pound, making Sapp look completely helpless beneath him.
Lashley, so Lashley couldn't go it. He's still able to rain down plenty of punishment from this position.
Yeah, Sapp is taking a little bit of a beating here.
Very heavy.
He's tapping. He just tapped.
Did he tap?
He did tap. Yeah, he did tap. But
the referee didn't see it. Yeah, I think he just tapped. Well, let's see how much more punishment. Now he taps. That's it. He's had enough of Bobby Lashley.
First round stoppage. The WWE star had dismantled a man who outweighed him by nearly 70 pounds like it was nothing. But Bobby Lashley isn't one to forget, and on November 6, 2015 at Bellator 145 in St. Louis, he got his chance at revenge. 3 years earlier, James Thompson had handed Lashley one of his only 2 career losses via a controversial decision in India, and the British heavyweight had been talking ever since. Bellator tried to make this rematch happen twice in 2015, but injuries kept delaying it. When it finally happened, Lashley avenged his loss in a brutal way. Lashley came out firing and immediately shot for a takedown. The single leg not only worked, but it tore Thompson's hamstring in the process. With the Colossus writhing on the ground, Lashley poured on the ground and pounded until the referee stopped it. Just 54 seconds into the fight, Lashley served his revenge cold. Bobby Lashley finished his professional MMA career with an impressive 15-2 record, with wins by knockout, submission, and decision. Fighting across Bellator, Strikeforce, and multiple international promotions, Bobby Lashley wasn't playing fighter. He was a real one. But the WWE Superstar was a silent beast, and his MMA debut might be the most violent first impression any wrestler has ever made. Before Alberto Del Rio became WWE Champion, before the luxury cars and aristocrat gimmick, he was a masked luchador named Dos Caras Jr. with a nasty streak. Del Rio wasn't just some entertainer playing tough. He was a legitimate Greco-Roman wrestler who represented Mexico's national team and won a bronze at the 1997 World Junior Championships. When he decided to test himself in MMA, he trained under UFC veteran Marco Ruas and got booked with Japan's DEEP promotion. On August 18, 2001, at Deep Second Impact in Yokohama, the masked Mexican faced Kengo Watanabe, a Pancrase veteran with real cage experience. Most people expected the luchador to get exposed. Instead, Del Rio proved that professional wrestling moves work just fine when you throw them for real. Less than a minute into the fight, Del Rio grabbed Watanabe and launched a belly-to-belly suplex straight out of any WWE ring. Except, this wasn't scripted. Watanabe's arm was sticking out when they landed, and the impact snapped it at an extreme angle.
相当拳が痛いと思うんですけども、まだ殴り続けてますんで、これはやばい。フロントスープレックス。これは脱臼してます。腕が。
The referee stopped it immediately. TKO by broken arm. 50 seconds was all it took for the future WWE champion to destroy his opponent using a move straight out of Monday Night Raw. But this time, the consequences were very, very real. Del Rio went on to compile a 9-6 professional MMA record, including fights in Pride Fighting Championships. But there was another WWE superstar who didn't just entertain in the ring, he was built for it from the beginning. Most WWE stars who cross into MMA have to learn how to fight first. But Sean O'Haire already knew. Before becoming a 3-time WCW Tag Team Champion and the Wrestling Observer's Rookie of the Year in 2000, O'Haire had trained in karate, aikido, kung fu, and Muay Thai. He won multiple Toughman contests. The 6'6", 265-pound natural-born thriller wasn't acting tough for television. He was the real deal. After WWE released him in 2004, O'Haire set out to prove his strength. On November 20, 2004, at Rumble on the Rock 6 in Honolulu, O'Haire faced Shungo Oyama. This wasn't some hand-picked opponent either. Oyama was a Pride FC veteran with real experience against legitimate competition. The sold-out crowd of over 13,000 expected a competitive fight. But instead, they got a massacre. O'Haire came out throwing heat. His years of martial arts training translated immediately into the cage, cracking Oyama with strikes that sent the Pride veteran stumbling.
Drops Oyama! He's got a bust him right off. Oyama's in big trouble. Sean O'Haire just pounding Oyama. Oyama just forget about it. Sean O'Haire.
31 seconds. That's all it took. TKO by punches in the first round. The professional wrestler had demolished a Pride veteran faster than most people can button their shirts. These WWE superstars walked into real cages against real fighters, and they didn't just survive. They dominated. Which crossover shocked you the most? And which finish was the most brutal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another breakdown. Because somewhere right now, another WWE superstar might be training for their cage debut.